Hopefully the same just stays. You know, it's always weird when somebody's looking at you. But I'm going to keep it going. More often than not, the version of you right now hasn't achieved the goals that you desire, because the version of you right now can't achieve the goals that you desire. The version of you right now isn't worthy of the goals you desire in the future. And I'm not saying that as in like you're never going to achieve them or that you'll never amount to them. You just have to change. You have to become a new version. You have to recreate yourself. That's why I love law number 25 from the 48 laws of power. Recreate yourself. Forge a new identity. Via a new identity, you can achieve goals that weren't possible beforehand. Let me give you a quick example. And I know maybe not all of you watch professional wrestling or watch WWE, but Roman Reigns, originally, when he became the top guy, or when they tried to make him the top guy, he was basically just a John Cena clone. He was basically just Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. He didn't say that himself, but he was just the smiley, bubbly, happy-go kind of guy. He was very one-dimensional. Like, he was just happy all the time. It's just like one of those characters who they just really, like, they're just always happy. They're just always looking for the fans' approval. It almost came across as, like, needy. You know, and the guy didn't really have like a true character. He just felt so forced, so what's it called? What's that word called? So like corporate created. Like you knew that he was just being shoved down our throats as like, this is the guy. You guys have to accept him. He's the top guy now. And people didn't accept him. People booed him all the time, despite him being meant to be like a baby face, which is basically the superhero, the guy that people cheer for. He was booed. He was booed out of the building. If you want proof, check out the promo he made the night after WrestleMania 33 when he beat The Undertaker. He comes out to the arena and they just shower him with boos. And every time he tries to bring the microphone close to his mouth to speak and to say something, the crowd boos even louder. They don't even want to hear him. They are fed up with that guy. And he was supposed to be the superhero in the story. He was supposed to be like the guy you're meant to cheer for. Whereas now, a couple years later, back in 2020, he reinvented himself. He became a heel. He became a bad guy. He became a completely different character, the tribal chief. And if I'm being very honest with you, the reason why I wear this tracksuit is because of Roman Reigns. He makes the shit look cool as fuck. He makes the shit look cool. He makes it look so fucking cool. And it's like a part of his character now. You know, when he's not wrestling, he'll come out in active wear. He'll come out with a tracksuit. It's not even like a Nike one. It has its own logo on it. Like, he completely reinvented himself, and people love him now. People genuinely cheer for him now, despite him being meant to be a bad guy. People will still cheer for him. He'll come out on a regular episode of SmackDown, and he is showered with cheers. It's like he has become the guy. And he could have never done that. He could have never reached this level without reinventing himself, without becoming a new version of himself. You know, had he stayed the big dog, he would have never reached these heights. He would have never brought WWE into its most profitable years. But he reinvented himself and was able to do so. So the version of you right now probably isn't worthy of these goals that you set out to achieve. Because if he was, you more likely than not would have already achieved them. All right, you would have already had these goals in your grasp. You would have already had these goals X'd out, but you don't, because this version of you isn't worthy of them. This version of you can't achieve those goals. You have to reinvent yourself. You have to develop new habits. You have to develop new skills. You have to develop a new identity. You have to become a new person. And the best way to do that is to change your habits, because your habits quite literally shape your identity. You know, if you're somebody who constantly goes to the gym, if you're somebody who's working out daily, you have the identity of somebody who works out. So you see how identity and habits correlate. So you're gonna have to switch these up. More often than not, the first thing you need to do is cut out the bad habits. All right, if you're still smoking, if you're still drinking very consistently, listen, every once in a while, you know, like a special event. But if this is a consistent habit, I don't see how this could ever work in your favor. I don't see how either of these could ever work in your favor. You're gonna have to cut it out. You have to, Same thing with junk food. If you're somebody who's constantly eating junk food, how is that going to work in your favor? Do you think if you had to face a final boss, you'd be better off fueled by junk food or fueled by clean, healthy, single ingredient foods? Which one do you think would have you fueled better? Exactly. The content that you watch. You think you'd be better prepared to handle the final boss? Now, this is a little different. No, you know what? Let's just use the same example. You think you'd be better prepared to handle the final boss if you've been doing nothing but jerking off all day and fucking just watching mindless content, or you've been armoring your mind? You've been armoring your mind for success, for knowledge, for all that good stuff. Which one do you think you'd be better off facing the final boss with? Because you're gonna have to face you're gonna have to face the boss eventually. All right? You're going to have to face the boss eventually. Whether that boss be the job that you hate, the school that you hate, the fucking the goal that you've set to achieve in terms of income. Like, let's just say you set out to achieve 10K a month. 10K a month is now your boss. You have to slaughter that motherfucker. You have to conquer. You have to reach that goal. And that's another key point in reinventing yourself. You need a set goal. You need to set a goal. Because what else are you going to reinvent yourself for? You know, you think Roman Reigns just reinvented himself just because he wanted to? Well, obviously he wanted to, but for what purpose? To become top champ, to become the top guy of the company, to become the top star. Excuse me. That's why. So you need to set a goal as well. That's a big part in recreating yourself. And you just break away from the old you. Break away from those old habits. No smoking, no drinking, none of that. No junk food, no jerking off. Definitely not watching porn. I don't know what the fuck you're doing if you're still watching porn. None of that. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. But that's exactly what makes this all worth it. And that's all I got for you guys, all right? Y'all be easy.